Hey guys, it's Allie, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the most recent books that I've read. It's called Chill by Stephanie Rowe. It's about a man who thought that he got rid of his past because his father did all kinds of shady dealings and he just didn't want to be part of that anymore. So he thought he would retire to Alaska, erase his name, erase everything about him, and just have a nice, easy life living in Alaska, which sounds great to me, but that's definitely not the case, as you could probably imagine, because that's just not what happens in books like this. And he thinks he can get away with it. He thinks he could just live his life and whatever demons he's left behind will just stay behind until a woman shows up who has gotten shot because she is now working with his father. And there's this whole elaborate plan to get him back at any cost. So his father uses this woman named Isabella, and he uses her to get to his son, Luke, because his son is the only one who knows where some precious jewelry is that he really wants, because it's worth a lot of money, and that's all he's about. So when Isabella comes to him, at first he's wary of her because obviously she's working with his father and he doesn't want to deal with that anymore. But as they go along, he realizes that maybe this woman can make him understand why his father did the things he did, because she adores his father and he just can't understand why. Because even though his father had good intentions for what he did, the way he handled it and what he did hurt everyone who cared about him. And it got his wife killed, and it just makes someone a little bitter towards you for doing all that awful stuff, no matter how good your intentions are, which I think is kind of the point to this book. It kind of shows you that even though you have good intentions, and you always have good intentions, sometimes you can get to where you don't see that the way you're handling it is really the best way to do it. And it makes you realize that sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, and it takes a long time to make up for that sacrifice and to bring back those that you really do love, even though in the past you hadn't really been that kind to them. And so throughout this book, throughout all of the stuff that Luke starts to realize about his dad, and the more he starts to realize he doesn't want to lose Isabella, makes him realize that he probably should start thinking about maybe just thinking about forgiving his dad. Maybe not forgiving, but realizing that his dad isn't quite as bad as he thought he was, and he was only doing it because he wanted the best for his son, and he didn't feel like he really had any other choice, which really brings forth more about humans than I think Stephanie was probably going for. But it is a really good read, like the other one, like Hot Zone by Catherine Mann. It is just a really light read. It's a fast read. It only took me, again, a couple days, 324 pages. Like I said in my previous video, I haven't been reading that much for a little while, and I just wanted to read a couple that weren't very long and that were guaranteed to have a really happy ending, like all romances do. That's just most or all of the romances I've read so far. That might not be the case with some of them. But most of the time, a nice romance, you can just tell, will have a happy ending, and sometimes that's just what you need. I would definitely recommend checking this out, because it's just something that will get you feeling good and maybe even help you in a tough situation you're going through, because all we can really do is understand that and not get so obsessed with it, so obsessed with perfection that we hurt the ones that we truly love. If you have that mindset, it will really help you feel better, because if you're not holding all of these resentments and all these grudges, and I'm not saying you should forgive everyone for everything they do, I'm just saying that you shouldn't take 20 years to either think about forgiving them or make any kind of contact with them. It's 20 years is a long time to hold something in for somebody. Now, if someone hurts you, you can feel mad at them, you can feel resentment for them, but you don't cut them off completely for the rest of your life. And anyway, that's way too heavy than what I wanted this to go. So Stephanie Rowe, chill, check it out.